Today, we're going to make something really nice. We're going to make Grandma B's Irish bread. This Irish bread was brought to every function that we had when I was a kid. My grandmother probably was making it since she was 12 years old. And I'm going to show you how to do it. We'll give it a try. All right? Let's go. I will at the end of the video, I'll put the recipe on there too. If you want to wait till then, you can get the recipe. It starts out with 4 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt in there, and 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. There's about 1. There's about 2. And that's a half. We did that. We're going to put in some milk. Let's see. Sugar. It says 1 cup. Now I start with 1 cup, and I usually end up putting quite a bit more. And you're supposed to mix this around. It says cut it in with a couple of knives. So that's what I'll try to do. We'll cut this in, stir the milk up. Hope I didn't forget anything. Pretty easy recipe, it doesn't take too long to put together. There's a couple of things that you need to know about it though. I guess because it's got a lot of sugar, even my grandmother had trouble. It tends to burn on the bottom before the rest of it's cooked. So you got to kind of be careful. I have cooked this in crummy little RV stoves. I've cooked it on gas grills, actually, believe it or not. See, as you can see that when you get the other camera angle, that's a little too, it's too dry. So I'm going to put in a little more. She even says that that it will be wet. So you want it a little bit wet. I'll put a little bit of that in there. I'm preheating the oven 325 degrees, and I have a greased bacon pie pan over here. My grandmother made this in an iron skillet, believe it or not. And that was how it was done. She cooked it in an iron skillet. She always brought 2 of them because my father was a spoiled kid. And this has walnuts and raisins in it. And he didn't like raisins. So she made one special for him. But come on, really? Talk about being a spoiled little... Well, anyway. So now we got this here somewhat mixed up. A lot of times I'll dive right in with my hands, but I'm trying not to get too gooey today. You don't want to be really messy. That looks pretty good, actually. Maybe just a dash more milk. That worked out to be more like 1.5 cups of milk. And I kind of like it like this. All right. Next, all you're going to do now, I almost forgot one thing. In fact, I should have put that in before the milk. I knew I was forgetting something. Butter. Butter and Crisco shortening, the size of an egg. So half an egg of butter and half an egg of Crisco. Problem is, I can't buy Crisco anywhere around here. So I'm going to try it with all butter. I'm going to try and get something that looks like about the size of half an egg. I'm going to say maybe something like that. I should have mixed that into the dry ingredients. I made a big mistake. I'm going to try and do it this way. You're supposed to crumble that into the flour, and you end up with something that has a consistency of, I don't know, like a granola kind of a thing, almost a little lumpy. And then this may not work at all now because I might have messed it all up just doing that. First time I've ever made it on camera. I'm going to try and stir it around to get that. Butter was room temperature, so it should be melted pretty well. I'm going to stir it a little extra. Hopefully I won't mess it all up completely. But it looks pretty good. My grandmother said the dough should be wet. It wasn't a holiday if there wasn't an Irish bread. And this is not your typical soda bread, Irish soda bread. It's more like a coffee cake. It's got raisins and walnuts, which we're about to put in now. Carefully measured, by the way. Yeah, that's exactly the right amount. And walnuts, which, by the way, I had the husk or shell this morning. You can buy chopped walnuts around here anyway. I was lucky to find a bag of whole walnuts in the shell. I chopped these up and they look okay. Again, we're going to measure them. That's the exact amount that we needed in there. Perfect. And now we're going to stir those around. I'll use one knife. And mix them all in good. I'm making this for my daughter and her husband and my grandson, who are coming down tomorrow, actually, to Colombia from the United States. I escaped the cold up north for a week. I thought they might get a kick out of having this. Plus, I thought you guys might like to see this, see how it's made. Yeah. This is the batter. I hope I didn't mess it up putting the butter in after, but remember, that's not how you do it. Okay. And that's it. Pretty simple. And I'm going to take our pan here, as you can see on the up top, and we're going to dump it into the pan. That's what it looks like. Kind of a wet kind of thing. I'm going to scoop this down into the pan, into the baking high pan. Hang on to the bowl. Come on, get down there. All right. All right. Try to get it all. Try to get all of it. That's pretty good. Okay. There's one more step. One more step. Spread it around. It's pretty good. I don't think I might have made one of these up here. This is a high altitude. We're at somewhere around 6,000 feet above sea level in the Andes Mountains. And, that does affect things, they tell me anyway. It says they affects. Here we go. We got it. One more step, and this is the secret right here. This is it. Cinnamon and sugar. We're going to sprinkle a little cinnamon sugar on top of the whole thing. It's said kind of like more like a coffee cake. Don't be stingy. That's the perfect amount. And that's it. That's it. See? Not bad. And we're popping that in the oven. Like 350 degrees. So it says here 45 minutes. But like the milk thing, I found that to be a lot of baloney. Sometimes it's taken 2 hours. So I think it all depends on how wet you make the batter and the dough and all that kind of thing. And again, you got to be careful though, because you don't want to overcook it. So every now and then I check it. I get a toothpick. The toothpick I use always, one of those wooden skewers you use for shish kebabs. They work great. Stick it in the middle. If it comes out dry, it's done. If it comes out with dough still on it, it's not done. Like I said, my grandmother, many times we'd get them and the middle was still a little doughy, and other times we'd get them and have to cut the bottom off because it was a little bit burnt. So even the expert had problems with this. Anyhow, we'll get back to you in an hour or maybe 2 and let you see how it came out. Okay, it's done. And actually took the 45 minutes like it said in the recipe. And any much longer it would have burnt on the bottom. So it's cooled down pretty good. I'm gonna see if I can slice it up a little. So I'm gonna try to be gentle with it. Maybe I'll use a different knife. Okay. And there we go. Look at that. I got the pieces that fall off. Now I'm gonna put one piece here. This is the way we usually eat it. It's pretty good. It didn't rise up quite as much as it usually does. And I'm wondering if that's because I didn't have the shortening. I don't know. I'm not a professional cook. This is the way we usually have it. Usually eat it. Cut it like that. Put some butter on it. Really good with butter. Even better, toast it in the morning. You put that in a toaster, boy, pop it up a little bit, put some butter on there. Subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to enjoy the Irish bread.